Hello, my name is Jay, and today we're going to be taking a look at the TP-Link Wi-Fi card. And the reason why I like doing these videos is because a lot of people make the argument like, hey, these things are really useless. You just get Ethernet and that's what you need. And I made a video talking about when you actually really need Wi-Fi cards. And for the case of this is actually going in the $30 PC, which funny, this was $30. But this is the $30 gaming PC I had. Obviously it doesn't have a Wi-Fi card. I gave it to my brother for Christmas, and part of the thing was I was going to upgrade it so it would technically be like a LAN PC he could take to LAN parties. And what you'll kind of see is the experience of me installing everything. I'm going to give like a full test review of everything. So basically it's just going to be a full in-depth review. We'll start off with the unboxing. I've got a couple new cameras for Christmas, so you'll be able to see that that's kind of what's going on. I got a new camera up here and then a camera of course over there. And I also got a new mic system so that you guys can actually hear what I'm doing here, and then of course hear my voice. So a lot of cool new fancy gadgets I'm going to be messing around with, you'll see throughout this video. And then we'll finally end up with kind of doing a computer build style, which I was really looking forward to, is kind of using all the cameras and things like that. So let's get into basically just unboxing this. I'll go through, unbox it, then we'll install it, kind of give that experience, which I think is just going to be just installing a PCI-E card. And then we'll go through and we'll test it, speed test, give a speed test compared to what I have on Ethernet, and then speed test to what I get on Wi-Fi. And we'll go through and get started from there. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. So you all get to actually see, I've always wanted to have like two camera angles, and this is what is the really best part about this. So some of the basics on this is that it has 1,300 megabytes per second, and it's pretty much a Wi-Fi card. Now I've used this Wi-Fi card before, but I actually ended up selling it because I was selling it with a system, some of my old parts away, and I included it in there. But like one of the good things about this, especially because I've actually went through and tried multiple Wi-Fi cards, if I can get this off. But I've actually tried like a wide range of different Wi-Fi cards, and this one is, a lot of people recommend it, a lot of people say it's like the best, and honestly there may be some truth in that, but I do like the fact that it just, it does kind of look like it knows what it's doing. It's got a little bit of the heat shields, or not the heat sinks on there, pretty large compared to some of the other Wi-Fi cards, things like that. Put that over there. So, get into the unboxing experience, which honestly, it's a Wi-Fi card, guys. But I did want to make this video because this is like the one I would recommend. So it's not like, I'm making just a random video. This is something I really highly recommend. And so I feel like a video talking about it and kind of showing the process. So we get some interesting instructions, get some Wi-Fi antennae, and low profile bracket, and then we get the card itself. They include it in this anti-static bag. So quick advice, if you're unfamiliar with some interesting stuff, you don't need an anti-static wristband to touch this stuff. Just touch like a metal case over here or something, and you save yourself a lot of trouble. So let's just get into the look at the individual card itself, which, as you can see, is actually just kind of what you would expect. I do like the black PCB. That definitely does kind of seem a little bit more quality, especially over some green PCB, and the heatsink is actually pretty substantial. It is milled though, so it is a solid piece of metal rather than separate, but that's pretty much it. It does look pretty good, and a solid kind of construction there. Antennae screw on, so you just kind of put those on there after you get that installed, and you basically got a nice little you got two of them too, so you got some nice extension, and they actually do seem quite large. I would recommend putting this somewhere close, and they also do allow you to like move them around, so that way when you have your graphics card above, you got room to do that. So I'm going to go get through and install it, and then we'll do a test on the speed compared to Ethernet. And now the reason why I also like to make this video and inform you about my Ethernet or my internet situation. So I'm up in the very corner of my house. And so the internet doesn't reach up here, Wi-Fi doesn't reach up here that well at all. So this would be, this is probably maybe 100 to maybe, I think it's 100, maybe 75 feet away from the router. So if you really want to know how well this performs while going through walls, while it is on the top of the house corner, usually the circumstance you'd be using a Wi-Fi card, you're really going to get a good idea from this video here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me installing this, and then we'll go through and we'll get started with the actual speed tests and the benchmarks and things like that.
time to get back up, climbing and climbing. I'm done with this ride.
So right off the bat, we don't have any driver support, but we do have Ethernet. So I'll go get the drivers installed real quickly, and we'll go through and go from there. We have Wi-Fi, everybody, and so let's connect to the. I'm going to do two different benchmarks for today's video. One, I'm going to do a speed test on. So since I'm like 50 feet, we'll just say 60 feet about from the router. Actually, it's probably about 60 feet since I do have, and also keep in mind this is through 1, 2, 3 different walls that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to speed test each one. So let me go and plug the Ethernet real quick. And so we're all on single Wi-Fi. And let's run a quick speed test, see what we get for on the 2.5 gigahertz. And so my internet, when we with Ethernet, we'll get about 100 megabytes per second. And right now we're getting about 25 megabytes per second on the Wi-Fi. Now, obviously, that's kind of one of the downsides, especially when you get super far away from a router, is that that's what the downfall of Wi-Fi is. So the upload is not really affected; it's slightly down. But the upload or the download is heavily affected. That's just because my internet is a certain range. I'm going to switch to the 5 gigahertz since I believe this is on the 2. Let's switch to the 5, and let's change that up. So that's on 2.5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, and that was the speed test with about a fourth of what we get download. So let's go through and do a test now with the 5 gigahertz, which is obviously going to be faster. Which puts us right up to about 50%. Oh, we're creeping up to this. Okay, so I'd say we're about half on the 5 gigahertz, so about half the speed that I normally get through a wired connection. And then, of course, upload is not really affected. So that kind of just shows that if you were to just benchmark it with the drivers installed, everything, it works fine. And just make sure you have 5 gigahertz or not. It definitely does seem to work without a problem. But yeah, so everything else is running fine, no extra work, etc. So that is kind of the review, installation, and testing of the TP-Link Archer T6E. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. But I mean, out of all the different Wi-Fi adapters, this just has the throughput and all that stuff that just, it's what I recommend. And so I wanted to make a video just because that's one of my recommendations. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. As always, check out my channel for other cool tech-related news, reviews, builds, and this will be more build stuff coming up soon. So thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.